好 ，SEO 部分来讲话呢，我们来看一下哦。好，我们今天讲说，你 GA 学完ADS 哦，然后或者广告系统学完之后，接着就要学一下 SEO 哦。那 SEO 跟因为它本身也跟 Google 搜寻引擎是有关，你也可以结合到 GA 去做那个数据的追踪哦。好，那 SEO 什么叫 SEO？SEO 全名叫 Search Engine Optimization 哦，那简称叫搜寻引擎优化啊，那也是简称的 SEO。那它是一个不断优化的过程哦。那优化的方向来讲，其实牵扯面向非常非常多。那据统计啊，网友85%透过搜寻引擎找到新的网站，那尤其前3页囊括了超过90%的点击啊。如果前3页看不到你的网站，代表顾客找到的是你的竞争对手，流量就流失掉了。那 SEO 可以做什么？可以做品牌曝光、客户引流、销售转换、关系维系，然后以及高品质长期的流量，然后分散投资风险，然后改善你网站内的这个体质 ，OK， 内容的体质，然后短期间也不会被淘汰，然后保护品牌，然后很多的一些机会。好，那 SEO 来讲跟关键字广告，它差异在说，关键广告当然是花钱费用嘛，然后以专业上来讲 ，SEO 这更难一点哦。那是否修改网站 ，SEO 来讲其实蛮多会跟你网站体质是有相关，可能会跟网站程式也会有相关，需要做调整修改。那关键广告你只需要有刊登页一个着陆页就可以刊登广告了。那看到结果来讲的话，关键字广告你广告打下去，基本上看到效果，看到你的广告那 SEO 来讲需要长期，大概6到18个月左右。那收费方式来讲的话，关键广告来讲按照点击付费。那 SEO 来讲的话，点击不用钱，优化排名过程需要成本的那刊登期间没有刊登期内限制。那关键广告你广告结束预算用完就下线。那但以点击率跟流量品质来讲的话 ，SEO 相对是比较高的。OK， 好，那这个2个但其实都可以并行没有说只用搜寻不用广告，只用广告不用搜寻。OK， 好，那我们再来看一下搜寻引擎运作的原理。
Hi, my name is Matt Cutts. I'm an engineer in the quality group at Google, and I'd like to talk today about what happens when you do a web search. The first thing to understand is that when you do a Google search, you aren't actually searching the web. You're searching Google's index of the web, or at least as much of it as we can find. We do this with software programs called spiders. Spiders start by fetching a few web pages. Then they follow the links on those pages and fetch the pages they point to, and follow all the links on those pages and fetch the pages they link to, and so on until we've indexed a pretty big chunk of the web, many billions of pages stored across thousands of machines. Now, suppose I want to know how fast a cheetah can run. I type in my search, say cheetah running speed, and hit return. Our software searches our index to find every page that includes those search terms. In this case, there are hundreds of thousands of possible results. How does Google decide which few documents I really want? By asking questions, more than 200 of them, like, how many times does this page contain your keywords? Do the words appear in the title? In the URL? Directly adjacent? Does the page include synonyms for those words? Is this page from a quality website, or is it low quality, even spammy? What is this page's page rank? That's a formula invented by our founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin that rates a web page's importance by looking at how many outside links point to it and how important those links are. Finally, we combine all those factors together to produce each page's overall score and send you back your search results, about half a second after you submit your search. At Google, we take our commitment to delivering useful and impartial search results very seriously. We don't ever accept payment to add a site to our index, update it more often, or improve its ranking. Let's take a look at my search results. Each entry includes a title, a URL, and a snippet of text to help me decide whether this page is what I'm looking for. I also see links to similar pages, Google's most recent stored version of that page, and related searches that I might want to try next. And sometimes, along the right and at the top, I'll see ads. We take our advertising business very seriously as well, both our commitment to deliver the best possible audience for advertisers and to strive to only show ads that you really want to see. We're very careful to distinguish your ads from regular search results. And we won't show you any ads at all if we can't find any that we think will help you find the information you're looking for. Which in this case, the cheetah's top running speed is more than 60 miles an hour. Thanks for watching. I hope this made Google a little bit more understandable.
好，那我们可以看到说，搜寻引擎呢，计算网络世界就像一个不断成长的一个图书馆哦。那收藏超过数十亿笔的这个书籍哦，那需要有一个中央归档的系统，我们就是要网页的一个检索器哦。那这个东西来讲的话呢，我们要透过 Google 来去找哦。那 Google 就像一个检索的一个功能哦。那超过1亿笔的 GB 的这个索引哦，那我们就透过这个索引来去查找我们要找的这个网站哦，就像我们去图书馆找书的概念是一样。好，那搜寻引擎来讲的话，步骤是这样的：首先分析搜寻字词，然后再比对搜寻的查询，然后为实用的网页排名，然后回传最实用的搜寻结果，然后最后你要考量这个背景资讯。好，那第一个步骤来讲，要分析搜寻字词，比如说以中文上来讲的话，更换、兑换、调整哦，那字词不同，它可能这个意义事实上是不同的哦。那Google 来讲的话，它历时了非常多年的时间哦，改善超过3成4成以上全球的这种语言哦。那这个是搜寻字词的部分。那第二部分呢，再就是它如何去判断这个字词用户的意图哦。我们来看一下这个影片。
The Google search algorithm is made up of several hundred signals that we try to put together to serve the best results for each user.
Just last year, we launched over 500 changes to our algorithm. So by some count, we change our algorithm almost every day, almost twice over.
We really analyze each potential change very deeply to try to make sure that it's the right thing for users.
The first step in improving Google search is coming up with an idea.
There are almost always a set of motivating searches, and these searches are not performing as well as we would like. Ranking engineers then come up with a hypothesis about what signal, what data could we integrate into our algorithm.
We test all these reasonable ideas through rigorous scientific testing.
The first is with raters. These are external people that have been trained to judge whether one ranking is more relevant and higher quality than another.
We show these raters side by side for queries that the engineer's experiment might be affecting. We also confirm these changes with live experiments on real users.
And we do this in something that's called a sandbox. We send a very small fraction of actual Google traffic to the sandbox. We compute lots of different metrics.
In 2010, we ran over 20,000 different experiments. All the data from the human evaluation and the live experiment are then rolled up by a search analyst.
For each project, it's usually one analyst assigned from the moment that we're talking to the engineers, trying to learn about their change.
And the impact is quite small, as you see.
We then have a launch decision meeting where the leadership of the search team then looks at that data and makes a decision.
That surely we should fix.
Ultimately, the goal of the search eval analyst team is to provide an informed, data-driven decision and present an unbiased view.
Okay, so not approved, the team will understand what's happening. If our scientific testing says this is a good idea for Google users, we will launch it on Google.
For many years now, Google has been offering spelling suggestions for queries that contain typos or misspellings. So sometimes you'll type a query and you might see, did you mean, and then an alternate query. If you type a misspelling of your medicine and you don't click on the did you mean, you might be getting results that contain that misspelling, and they tend not to be high quality results. So we thought about a different kind of interface that we call full page replacement. And instead of did you mean, you'll see at the top of your page showing results for. And in the case that we made a mistake, there's another link, search instead for, and it has the query that you typed. We call that link the escape hatch. For every time a user had to click that escape hatch because the spelling algorithm made a mistake, we wanted to make sure that there were 50 other times that they got the right spelling suggestion and they didn't have to click the did you mean. And they were also looking to see in the live traffic data how often were users clicking on that escape hash to make sure that the user signal that we get from live experiments was lining up with the signal that we get from our rater evaluations. We brought it to launch committee, and based on the rater evaluations and the live experiments, it was pretty clear that the engineers had done what they were supposed to do, and so we launched it.
When you align Google's interests with users' interests as we have aligned, good things happen.
We've put a huge investment into understanding what works for users.
Is this change going to help users not only in the United States or in English, but all over the world?
I think we get excited when we feel like we've hit on an idea that really helps a lot of users.
Users keep coming back to Google even though they have a choice of a search engine every time they open a browser.
好，那我们来看说，它说针对字词去做比对之后呢，然后了解用户的意图之后，接着去比对它资料库里面的这所信号相关的这些页面内容哦。那比较可能标题啊、关键字啊、文案内容核对之后呢，找到 keyword 之后呢，再来去做排名。因为有些可能不好的网站或比较旧的网站，或是比较不实用的网站。好，那我们看一下它是如何针对网站去做排名，好，以及哪些是不好的网站，它如何判定出来的。
Hello, I'm Michael and I work on Google's search quality team. In this video, I'm going to discuss some key points of our Webmaster Guidelines, including syndicated content, thin affiliates, and doorway sites. Syndicated content is content that is copied from another website. Some sites copy content that stays on topic, but they don't add any of their own value. Other sites copy completely random and irrelevant content to increase their search traffic. Scraped content alone, even high-quality content, does not provide any added value to your users. Similarly, if your site participates in affiliate programs, make sure your site adds value and gives the user a reason to visit your site. An example of a high-quality affiliate site would be a bicycle blog with original reviews and commentary. An example of a low-quality affiliate site would be a bicycle blog that provides only copied product descriptions accompanied by affiliate links. The final category is doorway sites. Doorway sites are created purely to drive users to another website and often try to crowd the search results for a particular term or phrase. This provides the user with a poor experience, as more than one search result will ultimately lead them to the same site. A violation of our Webmaster Guidelines can negatively impact your performance in our search results, and in some cases, can even result in removal from our search results. Our primary goal is to serve users with high-quality, relevant information. These guidelines are in place to ensure a good user experience, so it's worth your time to give them a thorough reading. To learn more, please visit our Help Center resources. Thanks for watching.
好，同学们看完这个，在搜寻上来讲的话，它会针对你的关键字的一些网站去做一些排名哦，把一些不好的网站或是重复性的内容的网站把它排除掉所以实际上呢，也就是说你网站内容最好是原创不要去 copy 别人的内容。好，那接着我们看到，刚刚有提到说比较严重的，就是会影响到网络安全的，或者是一些不好的网站，它会做专门介入处理怎么处理呢？我们来看一下
All right, today's question comes from the Bay Area in California, and the question is, just to confirm, does Google take manual action on web spam? Does manual action result in a removal, or can it also be a demotion? Are there other situations where Google will remove content from its search results? So I'm really glad to have a chance to clarify this, because some people might not know this, although we've written this quite a bit in various places online. Google is willing to take manual action to remove spam. So if you write an algorithm to detect spam, and then someone searches for their own name, and they find off-topic porn, they're really unhappy about that, and they'll write on into Google and let us know that they're unhappy. And if we write back and say, well, we hope in 6 to 9 months to be able to have an algorithm that catches this off-topic porn, that's not a really satisfactory answer for the guy who has off-topic porn showing up for his name. So in some situations, we are willing to take manual action on our results. It's when there are violations of our web spam quality guidelines. So if you search for quality guidelines, you'll find a web page that has all the stuff documented, and all of the individual stuff hopefully makes sense. It's essentially to avoid deceptive, manipulative, malicious behavior, the sorts of things that are fooling search engines, the sorts of things that are causing pages to be ranked higher than they should be ranked. And on individual items like cloaking or doorway pages or keyword stuffing, you can often click and get a lot more information, examples, find out why we don't like things like paid links or whatever. So the answer to your question is yes, we are willing to take manual action when we see violations of our quality guidelines. Another follow-up question was whether it has to be a removal or whether it can be a demotion. It can be a demotion. It tends to be removal because the spam we see tends to be very clear-cut, but there are some cases where you might see cookie-cutter content that's maybe not truly awful but is duplicative, or you can find in tons of other places, and so it's content that is really not a lot of value add, those sorts of things. And we say in our guidelines to avoid duplicate content, whether it's on the same pages, like things like doorway domains might have duplicate content, whether it's across domains, so having lots of different domains with very similar or even identical content. So when we see truly malicious, really bad stuff, we're often taking action to remove it. If we see things that are still a violation of our quality guidelines, but not quite as bad, then you might see a demotion. And then the last question was, are there other situations where Google will remove content from its search results? So we do reserve the right to remove content for spam. Content can be removed for legal reasons, like we might get a DMCA complaint or some valid court order that says we have to remove something within this particular country. We're also willing to remove stuff for security reasons, so malware, Trojans, Trojan horses, viruses, worms, those sorts of things. Another example of security might be if you have like your own credit card number on the web. So those are some of the areas that we are willing to take action, and we are willing to remove stuff from our search results. We don't claim that that's a comprehensive list. We think that it's important to be able to exercise judgment. So if there's some safety issue, or of course things like child porn, which would fall under legal. But those are the major areas that we've seen would be spam, legal reasons, and security. And certainly the vast majority of action that we take falls under those 3 broad areas. But just to be clear, we do reserve the right to take action, whether it could be demotion or removal, and we think we have to apply our best judgment. We want to return the best results that we can for users, and the action that we take is in service of that, trying to make sure that we get the best search results we can out to people when they're doing searches.
好，那接着我们来看一下针对网页这个实用回传部分那刚刚讲的排名完之后就回传到用户的这个浏览器那也会考量到用户的手机啊、网络啊的这个速度，那载入速度，那装置大小，最后会考量背景。背景来讲，包含说你用户在搜寻足球啊，是在美国搜寻足球、欧洲搜寻足球那是呈现出东西是不同的会因为地缘性的关系呈现出来这个内容也会有所不同。好，那再来我们刚才说网站来讲的话，它会自动去爬各大Google 搜寻引擎爬各大网站，然后再做收录。那难道我们被动去等 Google 来爬我们网站吗？那实际上我们会透过工具叫 Google Search Console 来提交我们的这个网站让 Google 能够收录那我们来看一下这个如果去做提交呢各位找 Google Search Console 然后呢点进去之后呢先把你的网址贴在右边，然后按继续，然后自动去验证这个所有权因为我们买取理论上自动通过就进入到后台。好，那如果说你连没有所有权，那这时候你就要贴上这一段代码那在你中间资料里面去做验证，那接着进入到这个后台来我们来看一下各位搜寻 Search Console 就好了 ，SEARCH Search Console。 好，这工具呢就是 Google 的那个 SEO 的一个工具。切换一下，我是用24的这一组。好，一开始进来的时候呢，大家先选择右边的前置网址，然后呢，我们把网站的网址把它复制贴上来，然后继续。好，那网站我们买的 GA， 理论上就会自动的验证通过。好，那就前往支援。好，那这个就是我们进入到的后台。好，来，请大家先验证好到这后台，好，再我们再来介绍一下这后台。好，各位到Sitemap这边，然后呢，输入 SITEMAP.xl， 好，做提交。好，各位这边有成功提交出去，不过有时候没办法截取，你可能多提交几次哦。好，成功，好，你要看到这个地方写成功哦。好，那Sitemap事实上你在你网站可以看到Sitemap，你打一个斜线打Sitemap。有时候因为 Web 里它本身已经帮你撰写好 XML 的格式档，所以你只要基本上就把这个页面提交出去就可以了。也说你在前台产生了哪些页面，它这边就会编撰这个目录，那你把这个目录提交给 Google 去做收录，它就按照你这编撰目录来去做索引。OK， 好，来，那请大家各位可以自己看一下自己网站是否 Sitemap 基本上在跟目录后面斜线打 Sitemap.xml 就看到。那其次来讲，就各位可以在你的网站左边这边 Sitemap 去做提交直接输入去提交，记得提交成功哦。来，欢迎各位。